So students, last week we already read about the greenhouse gases in the chapter pollution of air and water, and what we can, okay, to save our environment from these gases, or in the one word, if I am saying global warming. Now we will read about the water pollution. Okay, so now our next thing is water pollution. So see carefully, because this is important chapter. Okay, in your higher classes you have to also read about this. So if you understand well, you can do well in this case. So water pollution, if you see in class 7, okay, you have learned that water is a precious resource. Okay, think and list the various activities in which we need water. We saw that water is becoming source due to increase in population. Okay, you have to make a list. Okay, and different resources of water. Okay, can you tell me the different resources of water? Okay, so rivers, wells, tap water, okay, pond water, lake water, okay, oceans. These are the different sources of water. So we can say that, okay, you have also studied how water becoming dirty after we use it for washing clothes, bathing, etc. Okay, this means that we are adding some material to the water, which spoil its quality and change its smell and color. Okay, so what you have to understand that uh, why water get polluted, because we are adding something in it. Okay, by which its quality and uh, it eventually spoil. Okay, its smell and color also changes. So now whenever harmful substances, okay, such as sewage, toxic chemicals, silt, etc., get mixed with water, the water become polluted. Okay, the substances that pollute water are called water pollutants. Okay, so what you have to understand that the substances, okay, if someone is said to you that what is water pollutants, so the substances that pollute water, okay, it called pollutants. Okay, and the same thing, the components which pollute air, we read earlier, they are called air pollutants. Okay, so now you have to do an activity also. Try to collect a sample of water, samples from tap, okay, pond, river, well, and lake, for each into separate glass container. Compare these for smell, acidity, and color. Okay, so you can do in your home. If these all things, I think tap water, pond water, okay, even river water you can get. Okay, well water, maybe here not well. Okay, so lake water may be possible or not. So you can at least three water you can, its smell and acidity you can check by the litmus paper. Okay, it is easily available in market also. What is the changes in their color? Okay, so you have to understand it. So how does water get polluted? Now we will read about that. How does water get polluted? A case study is done here. Okay, Ganga is one of the most famous rivers of India. Okay, as the figure given in 18.7. Okay, code different codes of river Gangas are given here. It sustains most of the northern, central, and eastern Indian, okay, eastern Indian population. Mainly, it sustains mainly northern part, okay, central part, and eastern Indian population. So when we read about it, okay, millions of people depend on it for their daily needs and livelihood. Okay. However, recently a study by the World Wide Fund for Nature. Okay, sometime its full form also asked in exam, that we are talking about the WWF. Okay, full form of WWF, it means Worldwide Fund for Nature. That Ganga is one of the 10 most endangered river in the world. Okay, it is one of the most endangered rivers in the world. Okay, can you tell me the means of endangered? So students, endangered means which are nearly to extinct. Okay, so we have reached the stage because the towns and cities through which the river flows through large quantities of garbage, untreated sewage, dead bodies, and many other harmful things. Okay, directly into the river. Okay, in fact, the river is dead, and many places where the pollution level are so high that aquatic life cannot survive. Okay, so this is the thing that how Ganga is entered into the, if you say, in the extinct stage now. Okay, it becomes endangered nearly. Okay, so an ambitious plan to save the river, okay, called the Ganga Action Plan. Okay, now we have to save the river. So for this, our government started a plan, okay, which is known as Ganga Action Plan, and is launched in 1985. Okay, you have to keep in mind this is very important for you. It aimed to reduce the pollution levels in the river. However, the increasing population and industrialization have already damaged this mighty river beyond repair. Okay, now the government of India has launched a new initiative known as National Mission for Clean Ganga. So this is the main. You can say that one more thing which you have to understand or read, that and kept in your mind. Okay, that National Mission for Clean Ganga (NMCG) is launched by our government in the year 2016. Okay, let us take a specific example to understand the situation. Okay, you have to see the figure. Okay, if you see an example, okay, understand this is the Ganga at Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh has one of the most polluted stages of the river. Okay, if you say that Kanpur is also known as the most, you can say that polluted city or noisy city. Okay, noise pollution is much more there due to traffic and etc. So one more example also of that river also polluted there. Okay, so the Ganga at Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh has one of the most polluted stages of the river, as you see in figure 18.8, a polluted stage of the river. Okay, so that much pollutants are here. You can see in this image. Okay, 18.8. So Kanpur is one of the most polluted towns in UP. If you talk about the UP, it is most polluted town in UP or Uttar Pradesh. So people can be seen bathing, washing clothes and uh, defecting in the river. Okay, they also throw garbage, flower. They also throw, you can say that idols of gods and goddesses. Okay, and non-biodegradable polythene bags into the river. Okay, मेनली देखो कि देवी देवताओं का पूजा अर्चना होती है, उनकी मूर्तियां वगैरह भी जो है उसी में बहाई जाती हैं, मतलब हर काम जो है उसी रिवर में किया जा रहा है. So at Kanpur, the amount of water is comparatively small. If you see, the amount of water is comparatively small and flow of the river is very slow. So this is the reason because as you can say that that much of garbage if in the river, how can it flow? Okay, with these. So in addition, if you say Kanpur has more than 5,000 industries, these include fertilizer, detergent, uh, leather and paint industries also. Okay, these industries units discharge toxic chemicals wastage into the river. Based on the above information, think of the answer of the following question. Okay, first question is, what are the factors responsible for pollution of the river? So in one word, what you have to say the answer, that if we uh, washing, okay, do washing clothes, do bathing, okay, defectating, okay, and if you say that many industries are through their chemicals into the river, so these are the main factors responsible for the pollution of water. What steps can be taken to restore the Ganga to its past glory? Okay. So there is one Ganga plan is made, and there is National Mission for Clean Ganga also made. Okay, so for its past glory, you have to say that we have to know not throw these things into the river. Okay, Next question is, how would the disposal of garbage etc. affect the living organisms in the river? This is a good question. You are trying your best, but I am saying that living organism means okay, affect the living organisms. First thing we talk about the, as this is a aquatic pollution, okay, water pollution. So first get affected by the living organisms which live in the water. Okay, the oxygen is not sufficient for them. Okay, so they eventually dies up. Okay, so for if we talk about the human beings now, okay, or other animals, so they get affected by the, if we drink polluted water, we can get the many diseases, etc. Okay, so you can give the that type of answer for this. Next paragraph is, many industries discharge harmful chemicals into rivers and streams, causing the pollution of water. As we already read, examples are given. Examples of these industries are refiners, papers, factories, textiles, and sugar mills. Okay, so these are the industrial waste discharged into a river. This is the example. And chemical factors. Okay, these industries cause chemical contamination of water. So you can say that these factories, like if we talk about these names, okay, oil refiners, paper factories, textiles, and sugar mills, what they do? They do chemical contamination of water. Okay, so they do chemical contamination of water. The chemical released include arsenic, lead, and fluorides, which lead to toxicity. Okay, in plants and animals. First thing is toxicity to plants and animals. Okay, there are regulations to prevent this. Industries are supposed to treat the waste produced before discharging it into the waste water. Sorry. Okay, so that's why you can see often see in the industrial area. Okay, now it's necessary to make to do the if you say that treatment of this waste before discharging into the river, but quite often the rules are not followed. Okay, this is the India, that's why this type of things also happen. The soil is also affected by impure water, causing changes in acidity, growth of worms, etc. Okay, the soil also get affected by this. Next thing we have learned in chapter first, the importance of pesticides and weedicides for the protection of crops. Okay, you all remember, I hope. However, all these chemicals dissolve in water and are wasted into water bodies from the field. They also seep into the ground to pollute groundwater. Okay, if we use these weedicides, okay, or pesticides continuously to our crop, okay, so it eventually what happens? It is uh, you can say that harmful for the soil. Okay, and it's also seep into the ground to pollute groundwater. Okay, so groundwater also polluted by these pesticides. Now, next para is, have you seen ponds which look green from a distance because they have a lot of algae growing in them? So, if you see, often you also see, okay, from nearby in your home, if there is a pond, okay, so you can see that it looks green, okay, from a distance if you are not using it. So, they have a lot of algae growing in them. This is caused by excessive quantities of chemicals, okay, which get washed from the fields. These act as nutrients for algae to flourish. Once these algae die, they serve as food for decomposers like bacteria. A lot of oxygen in the water body gets used up. This results in a decrease in the oxygen level, which may kill aquatic organisms. Okay, so when you go to your higher classes, you read about the eutrophication. Okay, so this is the process. If we say that growing of that much of algae in a pond or any stream, okay, so it is known as the eutrophication, okay, excessive growth of algae. So if you see that these algae, if you growing so much, okay, in Hindi these are called saval, okay, you can see often you see that kai is called in the our language, okay. So these are the algae. So now we have to recall the activity. Okay, you had investigated the sewage disposal system of your locality in class 7th. Okay. Do you remember how the sewage was collected from your home and where it went thereafter? Due to time, we have to move on now. Sometimes, okay, untreated sewage is thrown directly into rivers. So it contains food wastage, detergents, microorganisms, etc. Can groundwater, okay, water get polluted by sewage, or water contaminated with sewage may contain bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites, which cause diseases like cholera, typhoid, and jaundice. Okay, these are the reason of these diseases, mainly this sewage. Okay, so the bacteria present in the feces of mammals are indicators of the quality of water. If water has these bacteria, it means that it has been contaminated by fecal matter. Okay, if such water is used by us, it can cause various infections. Okay, so now we have to. One thing is that to remember. Do you know hot water can also be a pollutant? Okay, this is usually water from power plants and industries. Okay, so hot water means not which you boil in your home. It is good if you boil the water and then use after cooling it. Okay, so this is called about the power plants and industries. It is released into the rivers. It raises the temperature of the water body. Okay, adversely affecting the animals and plant living in it. Okay, if temperature also, because if you say for any living organism optimum temperature also required for living. Now we have to read what is potable water and how is water purified. Okay, let us construct a water filter with simple everyday material. Take a plastic bottle and cut it into two halves at the center. What you have to do, you have to take a plastic bottle and cut into two halves from the center. Okay, use the upper half as a funnel by putting it upside down in the lower half, making layers in it with paper napkin or a fine cloth followed by cotton, sand, and then gravel. Now pour dirty water through the filter and absorb the filtered water. Okay, so this is mainly a process in which that polluted water can be filtered. Discuss the following question amongst yourself and with your teacher. Why do we need to filter water before drinking? Okay, this is a very easy question. Okay, because it can be contained with the contaminated, very often contaminated. Okay, with the bacteria of other organisms. Where do you get your drinking water from? Okay, second question is from drinking water. Okay, from where you go, and you can say that we are getting from the tap water, and after boiling, if some of you use by boiling, and you can use also filters in your home, water purifier mainly called. Then third one is what will happen if we drink polluted water? Okay, so this is also easy question. If you drink a polluted water, you may get a different type of diseases, okay, like typhoid, jaundice, and cholera. So now, next is Buzo is very upset. He tells Paheli that he drank water which looked clear and was without any smell, but still he felt sick. Okay, then Paheli explained. Okay, कभी कभी क्या होता है बच्चों कि जो साफ पानी भी तुम्हें दिखता है वो साफ नहीं होता. Paheli explains that water which looks clean may still have disease carrying microorganisms and dissolved impurities. Okay, so it is essential to purify water before drinking. For example, by boiling. Okay, so if you use boiling water, it's very good for your health. Okay, boiling, after boiling nowadays cold days you can use it as it is. Okay, but in if you want to use in summer days you can first boil it and then pour into a pot or any other utensil. Okay, so then after cooling it you can use it. Then water which is suitable for drinking is called potable water. Now the term the potable means the water which is suitable for drinking. You have seen how, okay, you have seen How various physical and chemical processes in the sewage treatment plants have to clean water before discharging it into water body. Okay, different type of method. Similarly, municipal bodies treat the water before supplying it into the households also. Okay, 25% of the world population is without safe drinking water. So you can say that 25% of the total population of the world is drinking the uh, non-potable water, or you can say that uh, okay. Other thing, let us see how water can be made safe for drinking. Now you have to read that how we can make this water safe for drinking. First thing you have to do, you have already seen how water is filtered. Okay, this is a physical method of removing impurities. A popular household filter is a candle type filter. Okay, the activity which we do earlier. Many households use boiling as a method to obtain safe drinking. Okay, water. Boiling kills the germs present in the water. And third is chlorination. Is a commonly used chemical method for purifying water. Okay, mainly municipalities. If you sometime also if you drink that tap water, it also contains the if you say that some amount of chlorine in it. Okay, it is done by adding chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to the water. We must be cautious. We should not use more chlorine tablets than specified. Okay, because chlorine is also harmful for our health in excess amount. Okay, so what can be done? Now you have to read that what can be done now. Investigate the level of awareness about water pollution in your area. Collect data on the sources of drinking water and the methods of sewage disposal. Okay. Now we have to investigate the level of awareness. Okay, how much the people aware about it. Okay, water pollution in your area. Okay, you have to collect the data about what are the common waterborne diseases in the community. You can consult your local doctor, health worker for this also. Okay. Next thing, which are the governmental and non-governmental organizations working in this field? Okay, what are the different organizations which deal with the water pollution? Okay, what are the measures being taken by them for generating awareness? Okay. So these is your homework you can do. Okay, and you can do by searching in your area nearby. Next, what you have to read in this chapter now, laws for industrial okay units should be strictly implemented so that polluted water is not disposed of directly into rivers and lakes. Okay, water treatment plants before installed okay in industrial areas, water treatment plants installed at our industrial levels. We should consciously save water and don't waste. Reduce, reuse, and recycle should be our mantra. Okay, reduce means we have to use a very little water. Okay, which is sufficient for us. Reuse. Okay, we can use reuse of any water. Okay, we have to not waste the water. Okay, then recycle. Okay, we can do a recycle or purify water. Okay, which is not drinkable, so we can make drinkable water. Okay, you have read in earlier class also. Okay, how ocean water is also made from drink. Okay, in separation of substances, you have read about it. Think of your daily routine. How can you save water? Okay, we can think of creative ideas like reusing water used for washing and for other household tasks. Okay, for example, one example is given here that water used for washing vegetables may be used to water plants in the garden. Okay, this is a very good example of it. Pollution is no longer a distant phenomenon. It is affected by the quantity of our daily life. Unless we all realize our responsibility and start using environment friendly processes, the very survival of our planet is in danger. Okay, so if this is a water treatment plant which is mainly established in industries, okay, for the purification of water. Hmm. While brushing your teeth, leaving the tap running may waste several liters of water. A tap that drips once every second wastes a few thousand liters of water every year. Think about it. Okay, if you are using this practice, it is a very bad practice. You have to not open the tap while brushing. Okay, or any activity. When you have to need, then use the water only. Okay, so this is the thing which we read about this chapter, and I hope you understand about the water pollution and its type.